Max Strus. Yeah, he played 2 games for the Bulls way back when. And they advance as the 8th seed to take on the Milwaukee Bucks. Final count tonight, 102-91, as the Heat, one of the best clutch teams in the NBA this season, make the biggest plays down the stretch. Welcome in. It's Playoff Central Live, presented by State Farm, here from our World NBA TV headquarters in Atlanta. Lloyd, that makes it sound fancier than it is. Coach Lloyd Pierce, Sam Mitchell right there. I'm Matt Weiner. Good to have you with us. Another fun play-in game. And Miami, I mentioned in our pregame, led the NBA in clutch wins, and they came up clutch late.
Yeah, and Coach was right. He talked about their Miami coach, Jimmy Butler, but the guy was Matt Strus in that first half. He gave them the confidence. He gave them that lead, and he let Jimmy Butler know that was another viable player on the court, because Bam had his hands full with the size. Rebounding, scoring was difficult for him tonight against that size. But Jimmy Butler found that guy, Matt Strus, early in the game. He got them going, and then second half, Jimmy Butler kind of took over. And, Coach, you said it. I mean, it's something about this Miami Heat team this time of year, because you look at the stats, Chicago should have won this basketball game. But come fourth quarter, Miami defense, playing through Jimmy Butler, and then Jimmy Butler not just scoring, but finding players at the right time and right moments to knock down big shots. And then again, Chicago did it to themselves. Zach LaVine had some untimely turnovers. They had some bad shots. So at the end of the day, Miami does what Miami do when their back's against the corner. Pat Riley, Eric Spoelstra calls out for that culture. And again, it shows up at the right time.
Chicago shot 40%, turned it over 4 times in that fourth quarter. Coach, what do you think the difference was tonight?
Well, I thought the difference was the adjustment. And we saw a Miami team struggle on the glass the other night against Atlanta. They win the battle tonight, 51-37, led by Bam Adebayo. He was the main culprit in that game. And I thought they made the adjustment. We knew this game was going to come down to their ability to contain the paint, keep these guys out of the paint. Chicago struggled all night. Where they did have an advantage, they hit a couple threes late in the game. It's 91-91, I believe, in the fourth quarter. But Jimmy Butler steps up. Max Strus had the game. They needed one player to get going from the three-point line, and Max Strus was that guy tonight.
I know we're early in the history of the play-in, but the 7 threes is a play-in record for Max Strus. 6th time in his career he's hit at least 7 threes, and he scored the first 12 points of the game for Miami. You talked about him showing he could be a viable option for them offensively after the struggles they had against Atlanta on Tuesday.
Yeah, because what it does for the Chicago Bulls, now it sends that mental picture that now it's another guy. You know Tyler Hero can get hot and beat you at any time. So now you still got Tyler Hero in the back of your mind, and here go Strus just knocking him down like he did to start the game. And so now here you are, Chicago, and you're on your heels, and you're like, look, we got to always account for Tyler Hero. Jimmy Butler's going to be Jimmy Butler. But now this other guy is the one torching us right now. And I just think they let the game get away from them. They had an opportunity. They went up in that fourth quarter, I think by 5 or 6 at one time. But then they came down, turned the ball over, a couple of bad shots. Just not smart with the basketball. Zach LaVine wasn't as good as he was in that second half like he was against Toronto. DeMar DeRozan does what DeMar DeRozan do. But at the end of the day, Jimmy Butler, I'm going to go back to him. The Butler did it again. I mean, you watch him. It's like he's on one leg. He's tired. Does he have enough to finish? But he finds a way to make plays. And that's the thing. And so you watch the video. Watch Jimmy Butler. I mean, this guy's amazing to me because he's like an old car. You keep waiting for him to break down. But look at that. He just finds them open spots. Right there, he slips in. Backdoor for left. Here's Jimmy Butler again. Playing like a de facto center. He's setting the screen, slipping to the basket, and again, finishing over the bigs in the paint, doing what Jimmy does. Here's Jimmy with the ball this time. Watch him use this double screen as he fakes the screen, turns it down, Euro steps through the paint for left. And again, Chicago, you got to make him use the screen. You got 3 defenders over there. Again, and I don't understand this. Me and Coach was talking about this, and he said Caruso, because he's in the league right now, is a tough defender. But at the end of the day, Coach, I hear you. The heart may be willing, the mind may be there, but the size, you're just too little, Caruso. And here's Jimmy Butler again. Just using that size and strength to get downhill against Zach LaVine right there. Pump fakes and gets him off, and that right there was just a tough shot. Taking the punishment from Vucevic, still dropping him off with the left hand, Coach. Some of you was showing my son a few hours ago. But again, look, we all know about this culture. We all know how tough Miami is. And I guess the way they practice their training camp, that mentality, always holding guys' feet to the fire to be accountable, That's when it shows up late in the game in tough situations in a play-in.
And the emphasis on fitness and conditioning that they've had there for decades under Pat Riley. You know, Billy Donovan's no doubt is going to be asked about rotation and personnel choices late in the game. Kobe White hit some big threes. It was tied, I think, at 91. He comes out. Patrick Beverly comes in, hadn't hit a shot at that point, and is not guarding one of their go-to players offensively. And I'm curious, from a coach's point of view, I know you can't get into his head, but what might he have been thinking?
Well, I think we all understand both of these teams are top 5 defensive teams throughout the course of the year, and you're going to hang your hat on the defensive end. And so you get into a win-or-go-home type of game, and you're going with your strength. And your strength for the Chicago Bulls has been their defense all year. Pat Bev has been one of their leaders on the defensive end. But I think tonight was different. Tonight was you got to play your best guys. You got to play in the moment. Kobe White hits 3 threes in the fourth quarter. They needed his floor spacing for guys like DeRozan and Zach LaVine to get into the paint.
Right.
Having him not on the floor was a big mistake, and it cost them.
I don't know if it lines up exactly. I'll figure it out. But I believe that's when the Heat launched a 12-1 run to basically put this game away.
Well,
not to hang it all on that decision, but
and there's a lot of factors that go into it.
Yeah.
But I think Kobe White was the guy that they needed to step up. This game, they never got to 100 points. We were saying it. First team to get to 100 was going to win.
Right.
Kobe White was a part of that for the Chicago Bulls in that run, and it cost them.
Kobe White 4 of 6 from three-point range tonight.
Yeah, I'm like Coach. I just thought Kobe White should stay in the game, and he wasn't doing a bad job defensively. But sometimes, look, coaches get caught up into those guys. You got the reputation, you're a defender. But there are nights, and I used to tell my players this all the time. There are nights when you're a starter that a guy coming off the bench has earned the right to finish the game. That's just how it's a team game, and the same 5 guys for 82 games are not going to finish the game every night. It's impossible. And so as a team and as a coach, you got to recognize the guy that's helping you win that night. And Kobe White not only was knocking down shots, but he was picking up defensively. He was being a nuisance on the defensive end. And I thought his youth, his energy, his speed and quickness was helping the Chicago Bulls against this Miami team. Because if you look at Miami, they play small. I mean, they play really small. Bam at 6'8", Jimmy Butler, power forward at 6'6.5", and then they play 3 guards. So I just think sometimes Billy Donovan got caught up into matching down. Think about this. When Drummond was on the floor, they went up again. They had the size. They rebounded. They were engulfing Miami. But again, you want to match down sometimes, and I'm a huge proponent. I'm going to play my best 5 guys, whether they're big or small. I never believe in matching down. Because,
make them adjust to you.
Yeah, because, again, I can't play that good small. Miami plays this way 82 games a year. That's their lineup. They play small. When you match down to somewhere you're uncomfortable and you look out there and you got Alex Caruso, you got Pat Beverly, you are playing Miami-style basketball. And I just think Eric Spoelstra kind of led Billy Donovan down that road, and before Billy Donovan realized he was playing Miami Heat basketball.
Yeah. Yeah, and at some point, you're no longer playing your own brand, whatever that is. Whatever you do best, if you're adjusting, and that's a big part of the NBA, forcing the other team to adjust to your style.
Yeah, and I thought Chicago made their best run in the third quarter. Against Miami switching, they were able to establish Vucevic down in the low block. He gets 4 or 6 points. And then when it was time for him to come out of the game, Andre Drummond came in, and the game really changed. He really got on the offensive glass. They had a couple second chance opportunities, and it became a matchup for him. Yeah. So it was hard in the fourth quarter. They needed to bring Vucevic back in. Kobe White gets going. The game gets out of hand. It gets a little bit different. And Miami is good down the stretch.
Plus minus is certainly not everything. Andre Drummond was +8 tonight, best for the Chicago Bulls. Let's get to Billy Donovan in Miami. The Bulls season has come to an end.
Billy, that's obviously a very good defensive team. You take that lead on that Kobe 3 with 3:47 left and then don't have a field goal the rest of the way. What did you see from your offense down the stretch?
Yeah, I mean, I thought, we had some looks, we didn't make. I think Zach had that drive, didn't quite finish one. I think, a couple swung the ball, had good ball reversal. I think maybe Alex missed one there. I thought we got a little bit, at times a little bit bogged down,